They're looking at me like I had no clue. What's up, guys? Welcome to the club where anybody's welcome and everybody can join. If you are new here, welcome to the club, and if you have been here, thank you for coming back. I'm really appreciative that you clicked on this video, and I hope you'll decide to join by subscribing and turning on the bell so that you get notifications whenever we have meetings. Let's get into this video. So before I start, I do have to say, give a little shameless plug to my friend here. This shirt that I'm wearing is actually from her business, 1107 Clothing. I will leave a pop-up here of what the entire shirt looks like and where you can find her. But I have to give a shameless plug. It's very warm. The fabric is really good. Definitely go support her. Okay, so I took a break last week. And this week we're still on the topic of mental health, even though we're in a new month. So this particular discussion is going to be about suicide. Very, very serious business. Very important that we talk about it. And as a disclaimer, I think a lot of people associate suicide with the act of actually physically killing yourself, but I think a lot of people don't think about the fact that when it comes to suicide, you can kill yourself with your words, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people, what you think about yourself. Those types of things can kill your energy, your drive, your motivation. And so suicide isn't always physical. I have personally dealt with suicide. It was something that, or should I say suicidal urges, it was something that I dealt with for a very long period of my life, from the age of 7 to the age of 17. And I attempted suicide 4 different times over the course of those 10 years. 2 of the attempts were in the same year. The next one was when I was about 14, and the last one when I was 16. And it's always crazy when I tell people some of the things that I've been through, or some of the things that I have experienced. They look at me like, oh, are you serious? Like, especially people that knew me, especially people that like I went to school with, or the people like in high school, in junior high and stuff like that. They're looking at me like I had no clue. I was going through a lot during those ages. That time in my life, I was getting bullied. I was having family problems, both immediate and extended. I was very, very insecure, had extremely low confidence and low self-esteem. And that's something that, because it was such a thing for me for those 10 years, I still have those battles, but they're not as big, and I know how to deal with them now. I was also not much of a talker. Crazy enough, now I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I was not a talker. I was the person who kind of held everything in. That was if I have a regret of any kind, that would be the one thing. Like, I wish I had spoken up a whole lot sooner. I wish I had been brave enough to say whatever I needed to say, however I needed to say it, and feel how I felt. And be able to stand in that. Definitely can do that now, but then it was definitely a struggle. There were several people in my life that had no clue. None. I mean, I was really good. At that age, I was very, very good at going through whatever I went through on the weekend or throughout the week, and then going back to school the next day. Nobody knew. I made a point that was intentional. It was the worst. I can't say worst any harder, but it was the worst time of my life. And so, having come through that, I wanted to really just talk to you guys, because I know there are people out there who don't have people to talk to. I know there are people out there who feel like they're completely alone and feel like it's just them against the world, which is not true. If you guys want to know more about my story and specifics, let me know in the comments. After I turned about 18, I stopped having suicidal thoughts. I stopped having suicidal urges. My last attempt, I was 16 years old. And since then, I have not had any type of like thoughts to do anything like that. No urges, no attempts, nothing like that. I am completely free of that today. I know some people struggle with that all of their life. That's something that they have to deal with and fight with and, you know, go to war with for a while, for all of their life. And I'm grateful that I've been blessed enough to find a way to get rid of it altogether. Another thing that I want to talk about, just kind of giving it, this video is really just going to be a big overview of the suicide talk and the suicide topic. and it's going to be very personal to me in terms of the fact that I am a woman, that I am a Christian, that I am African American. So I do want to touch on the fact that it is very difficult to address suicide in the African American community. I think that we've gotten a whole lot better. I do think that we, we'll talk about mental health now. We understand that it's something that we deal with, and it's something that we may not have been aware that we have been dealing with. So now that our eyes have been open, we can talk about it. But I still think we have a long way to go. And then on the flip side of that, being a believer and being a Christian sometimes can be very hard to talk about how you feel and why you feel the way you feel, and get practical steps and practical, application as to how you can overcome the urges. In regard to being an African American and dealing with mental health, and specifically dealing with suicidal urges, I know that it can be a scary thing to have to go talk to your parents, or have to go talk to a family member, or anybody really, about how you're feeling. The African American culture is strong. We are known for we just gonna get through it. There is no, what if it doesn't work? There's not a lot of room for this kind of conversation, but the truth of the matter is that we have to have this conversation because so many of us are dealing with it. I think the same thing goes for Christianity. I've seen several people that have had the story of, I told my pastor, or I told my mom, or whoever, that I was having suicidal urges, or that I was, self-harming and all that kind of stuff. And they tell you to go sleep it off, go pray it off. No, those things do work, not the sleeping part. That doesn't really do anything. But prayer is powerful. Prayer does work. But there are certain things that you have to do in your everyday life to kind of break down those strongholds and break down those thoughts that you're having. And so I do want to end this video just by saying, be very careful and be very cognizant of how we talk to people, how we treat people, how we deal with people, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they woke up to this morning. You don't know what they have to go to bed to tonight. And so I just want to encourage you guys to make sure that you treat people the way you want to be treated. Like, that golden rule is so simple, but it's so crucial. And I know I'm not out here by myself. I know that there are several people out there who deal with mental health in general, and then deal with specific things. I know that there are people who feel like they can't talk to anyone, who feel like they have nobody, and you may not have anybody in your immediate circle. But I want you to know, if you ever feel alone, if you ever feel like it's just you and you're completely tapped out on trying to be strong, come check out the video. Leave a comment in one of my comment sections. I promise you, I will look at it, I will see it, and I will respond, because this is a community. Like, I'm trying to build a family. I am not just on here just to be talking. I'm really trying to build a family of people who are loving, and even though we may or may not ever physically meet, we have a connection and we have a relationship so that we can all help each other be great. Like, that's really all I want, y'all. I want everybody to be great. I want y'all to be great. I want to be great. Like, let's just be great together. That's really what I'm going for here. And as I look back over my journey dealing with suicide and dealing with suicidal urges, it really is nothing but the grace of God that I am sitting in front of you today. Like, there is nothing. I can't give anybody else credit. I can't give me credit, because I was the one sinking. My parents are great, but it was literally nothing, and I wasn't talking to them. So, I mean, they're wonderful people, but they're great people, but I wasn't talking to them, so they couldn't help me. But it truly is nothing but the grace of God that I am sitting in front of you, alive and well. If I can help you guys in any way just by telling you what I've been through, I'm down for it. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you or encouraged you in any way, do me a favor and let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell so that you get a notification whenever we have more meetings. Until next time, I love y'all. I'm out.